The shocking reasons why these megacities are still empty. Once thriving spots or entirely built from the ground up, these cities now stand abandoned, leaving more questions than you can probably find the answers for. Their empty buildings, streets, and even cars are left for nature to reclaim over the years. Whether destroyed during the war, evacuated for ammunition practice, or cast aside after nearby precious metals and minerals turned out to be in short supply, here are some of the world's most fascinating abandoned cities. 4. Ashgabat, Turkmenistan. In the lesser-known country of Turkmenistan, you'll find Ashgabat, the weird, wonderful, and eerily empty capital that has been raising eyebrows for a few years now. Ashgabat is drawing in adventurous tourists from across the globe to explore its hidden charms. The surreal landscapes and imposing architecture are attracting visitors to the mysterious and haunting place, which is now a haven for dark tourists. Described as the city of white marble, Ashgabat has distinctive wide boulevards and towering white buildings. Located at the crossroads of ancient trade routes, the region has been inhabited since prehistoric times. The area, which is now Turkmenistan, was once part of the Silk Road, the trade route connecting Asia with Europe. In the 19th century, Turkmenistan fell under the control of the Russian Empire as the Russians expanded its influence in Central Asia, becoming the Soviet Republic in 1924. The country gained independence from the Soviet Union in 1991. The city's outskirts are dotted with unusual attractions that draw in dark tourists. The abandoned settlement of Göktepe is a haunting reminder of the bloody Battle of Göktepe during the 19th century, which lies just outside the city. It serves as a somber testament to the nation's turbulent history. The door to hell is also a major draw. The natural gas crater has been burning for more than 50 years, which makes the desert sky glow at night. And while Ashgabat's emptiness may be unsettling, it offers a unique canvas for dark tourists to explore the city's peculiar atmosphere. Dark tourists are encouraged to approach their visits with sensitivity and respect, acknowledging the historical and cultural significance of the places they explore and engaging with local communities to gain a deeper understanding of the context. 3. Nusantara, Indonesia. Indonesia's planned new capital city, Nusantara, has been in the news lately after a flurry of reports that the government is still struggling to attract investors and, as a result, is offering very generous financial incentives to increase interest. Deep-pocketed backers who were considering investing in the project, such as Japan's SoftBank, have reportedly gotten cold feet, concerned about the lack of a concrete vision for the new city. Nusantara will apparently be the home of a new training center for Indonesia's national football team, and we continue to see flashy concept art providing glimpses of the smart green city that it will one day be. But how realistic is this vision? And why hasn't it resonated with investors and locals alike? Singapore is often held up as an example of a thriving smart city, and it is indeed very convenient to take a bus in Singapore and get live updates about routes and wait times on your phone. But people don't want to live in Singapore because it's a smart city. They want to live there because it's safe and clean, has great public transport and infrastructure, excellent universities, and sits at an ancient crossroads of trade and commerce that make it a natural hub for transportation, business, and finance. But Indonesia, despite claiming to draw inspiration from Singapore, has failed spectacularly. Cities designed and built simply to showcase technologies or infrastructure tend to have poor track records. They often sit abandoned or underused because even though the planning reflects high-minded concepts and the structures are sleek and futuristic, there is no compelling reason for people to live there. And today, Nusantara stands out as a perfect example of that mistake. Despite efficient layouts and modern buildings, there is little there to pull people in. Even though Indonesia's main capital, Jakarta, is sinking, polluted, and congested, it is still a city that millions of people want to live in. It has been a major political and economic nexus of the archipelago for centuries and has deep historical roots. It is an immensely complex place that, despite its problems, creates job opportunities and experiences not easily replicated anywhere else. So, Nusantara will find it hard to displace Jakarta and will most likely remain deserted for an extended period of time. 2. Tianducheng, China. Scattered along a barren landscape, towering skyscrapers collect cobwebs and apartment buildings are left abandoned. The empty streets of New Age ghost cities in China have been attracting international curiosity for years. The rapid construction of new towns is being completed at a phenomenal rate, in the hope that the future will see a sudden influx of locals filling their vacant rooms. The Chinese government is preparing for the expected shortage of housing that will soon impact the overpopulated communist nation. Any train ride along the eastern side of the country will expose hundreds of these unfilled settlements. A few hours from the modern metropolis of Shanghai, one such city is raising eyebrows not just for its empty towers, but also for its ironically familiar style. Weaving between manicured hedges and sprawling fountains, the iconic Eiffel Tower soars ahead in the distance. Parisian facades rise high on both sides of the boulevard. Despite the uncanny resemblance on the surface, this is not Paris, and we are a long way from France. Tianducheng is an urban development that has failed spectacularly. On the outskirts of Hangzhou, a large city only an hour by bullet train from Shanghai, rural farmland has been rezoned to make way for a grandiose plan that is quickly becoming the stuff of fabled legend. Developers started construction on Tianducheng in 2007, complete with a one-third scale replica of the Eiffel Tower and a recreation of the fountain from the Luxembourg Gardens. Original plans had an expected capacity of 10,000 residents. Today, the town's population is around 10% of that. The streets are unoccupied, shop fronts have been boarded up, iron railings are rusted over, and that famous fountain is bone dry. Unfortunately, high real estate prices and a change in economic growth have resulted in few visitors. Those that do arrive are usually inquisitive travelers or wedding parties and photographers on a day trip from nearby cities. A lot of the city's failings stem from its odd location. Hectares of farmland surround Tianducheng, which in itself is almost an hour by public transport from Hangzhou's central train station. Only one hotel is open for foreign guests, the aptly named Tianducheng International Resort, and a handful of eateries serve up typical Chinese fare. The skies remain gray most of the year from the heavy pollution drifting in from factories in the surrounding area. The only time you will see a hive of activity is at the end of the day when construction workers finish their shifts. The park surrounding the Eiffel Tower is littered with trash and overgrown weeds. The odd cow wanders across the fields while security guards sleep in the shadow of the tower. Basketball courts are covered in dirt, with no one around to use them. The question is, will the city pick up in the near future? Only time will tell. 1. Naypyidaw, Myanmar. In 2005, the Burmese government announced that it would be moving the country's capital from Yangon to a new city in the center of the country. The new city, Naypyidaw, was built from scratch at a cost of billions of dollars. It was designed to be a modern, planned city with the latest amenities. However, over 18 years later, Naypyidaw remains largely empty and uninhabited. In an ambitious endeavor, Myanmar constructed Naypyidaw, a grandiose capital city, hoping to showcase its progress and modernity to the world. Despite the substantial financial investment and elaborate facilities, Naypyidaw stands as a stark symbol of failure. This failed project has remained a case study for building mega projects around the world. The city's enormously wide roads and massive structures show where unplanned investment can lead. The construction of Naypyidaw came with an astronomical price tag. Although precise figures are hard to ascertain, estimates suggest that the project cost billions of dollars, a massive drain on the country's limited resources. Vast sums were allocated for infrastructure development, including expansive roads, government buildings, hotels, and recreational facilities. The financial burden placed on Myanmar was exacerbated by the fact that the project was undertaken secretly, keeping the public largely unaware of the excessive costs involved. Several factors drove the decision to build Naypyidaw. Firstly, the military junta ruling Myanmar at the time sought to establish a new, centrally located capital that would symbolize its authority and power. There were concerns about the vulnerability of Yangon, the former capital, to natural disasters and potential foreign invasions. Building a new city from scratch was seen as an opportunity to create a strategic stronghold and showcase Myanmar's modernization efforts. Naypyidaw was designed on a massive scale, covering an area approximately 7,000 square kilometers, making it significantly larger than most major cities in the world. The city boasts vast boulevards, luxurious hotels, sprawling government complexes, lavish golf courses, and stadiums capable of hosting large events. The sheer magnitude of the infrastructure investments aim to project an image of progress and prosperity. Despite its grandeur, Naypyidaw remains eerily deserted. The reasons for its lack of population are multifaceted. Firstly, the city's construction was largely carried out by the military, with little involvement or consultation with the general population. As a result, there was minimal organic demand for housing or infrastructure. Secondly, the astronomical living costs in Naypyidaw have deterred individuals and businesses from relocating, with most preferring the economic opportunities available in larger cities like Yangon. Thirdly, the isolated location, lack of adequate public transportation, and limited job prospects further discourage people from settling in Naypyidaw. Today, the Naypyidaw project remains a testament to the failure of an extravagant vision, prioritizing grandiosity over practicality. The exorbitant expenses incurred during its construction, coupled with a lack of public consultation and economic viability, have resulted in a deserted capital city. So, there you have it. Which of these empty cities would you wish to visit? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, kindly do so by clicking on the subscribe icon below. Give us a like, share the video, and remember to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our latest uploads. And that's it from us today. Until next time, thank you for watching.